talking about kind of the concerns with the system tonight. Something really jumped out to me when we saw you a few minutes ago was that some people will be in the thick of heavy snowfall tonight.
Yeah, tonight, like not late either.
Right, on the earlier side.
Some storms are, oh, it's after midnight, whatever.
Right.
This will actually start around 6 or 7 o'clock.
Okay,
so
be mindful of that.
There's so much, like, in my mind, you think of, okay, what are all the different things that you have to try to hit to get people ready? We'll do our best. There's a storm. Whoa, big storm, right? I mean, it's taking up half the country right now, basically from Wichita east. This storm is impactful with severe weather down to the south. The problem for us has been all along that this was going to be an inside runner. And before our snowstorm on Sunday, I said I am more concerned about this. And the signal was really strong. The storm was really strong. Here's the leading edge of the precipitation. You can see running into some dry air into Vermont and New Hampshire. So it'll take a few more hours at least to saturate the column and get it into western Maine, which is where we're looking at around 6 or 7 o'clock. Brian's point was just what I said earlier, that if you're driving home tonight or you've got a quick errand to run tonight over western Maine, let's say interior York and Cumberland County and into Oxford County, that'll happen during some periods of heavy snow. This is 7 o'clock, and once it hits pretty hard here. There's a lot of convective instability here, which allows heavy snowfall rates right off the bat. Along the coast, it will snow. I don't think it'll be a huge problem initially, and they'll change over to rain really quickly. And watch this rain snow line. This is 10 o'clock tonight, making its way inland and really making a push after midnight tonight. It is worth noting down East Maine stays snow through the evening, first half of the evening at least. It takes until the morning to change over. Looks like between 2 and 5 we see a really big push of warm air, and most of the state is changed over to rain by tomorrow morning proper, so to speak, 5 in the morning when a reasonable person might wake up. Temperatures in the mid and upper 40s, even some low 50s. Mountains clinging to snow. Maybe they end as a little rain. I don't think it'll be a big problem for them, though. Good news with this storm, if there is some, is it moves out really quite rapidly by tomorrow afternoon. So our snowfall map looks the same. It's funny, I saw the timestamp by Todd that something happened this morning at 3 something. I don't see any change. It looks exactly the same. Maybe we just moved a letter around or something. We're in the same spot here where if you're not in the 6 to 12 or 12 plus, you're going to net lose snow from this. So even the 1 to 3, 3 to 6, you'll see that snow, and then the rain will wash it away and then some, and melt some of our snowpack as well that we have on the ground. Really quick flip over into York County coastal areas. So this is rainfall in addition to the snow. Some of this will fall snow in a couple spots, but most of this will be liquid outside of the mountains. And I kind of lassoed this area to show you the spot most likely to see flooding. It's a combination of factors. They have quite a bit of snowpack on the ground already. Most of this will fall as rain. And so those two things put together are where we're likely to see the most flooding. And I also took out northern Maine. Even though there's a possibility of some flooding, I think the heaviest rain is down to the south. So this is the zone that I'd be most concerned about for flooding. And then the wind gusts. If you talk about what's going to impact the most people, it's probably going to be power outages. And it comes from these wind gusts, which will be southeast, again, as our favorite new wind direction, in the early morning hours through the mid-morning tomorrow. And you'll notice these southeast winds at one point do peak up, at least verbatim here on this model, to 60 plus. So I think what we talked about yesterday, 55 to 60 miles an hour, still seems about right. Down East Maine could go in excess of 60 miles an hour, 65 to 70 at times. These are gusts, still though, into Washington and Hancock County on Wednesday morning. So once again, I think we're looking at a power outage event. And that really makes it an issue because we've got another storm coming in Saturday that looks similar. Maybe it's a tad bit weaker. Here's the problem. If we lose power tonight, can't put crews up in buckets until probably late in the evening into Thursday morning, you're going to have a day and a half maybe to restore power before this storm moves in. So that's going to be kind of a cumulative problem here, Brian. I think even though that storm looks just a tick lighter, I think if, what are the chances that they can restore power for everyone in that day and a half? Probably not great. And so then another storm hits, more people lose power, they can't put people up in trucks, and we get problems. So I think you look at the population here, I think it's going to be the power outages that ends up being the bigger story. The flooding obviously will be an issue, but it doesn't hit everyone the same way.
Yeah, small window to get the power back on between cycles
not
here.
Much, yeah.
Okay, Keith, thanks.